Welcome to a new video in my home automation series, and my desk looks a little bit messy, but that's because I have just a bunch of products that I want to quickly create a review video on, mostly because the 11.11 Aliexpress sale is starting, well, relatively soon, and if I don't review these products, you might not be able to know them in time and decide whether you want to use the the discounts that will be applicable for these models in this upcoming sale. So I need more time to play with all the features and everything with these products, but that's not probably going to be ready, especially not for all of them. So hence there is like a shorter video here now. So we are going to review 4 products, and they all came from Zemismart. So you can see that I have 2 different touch screens. They are more or less the same, but of course, physically different, and they have some different features. There is a new Zigbee hub here, and there is a Zigbee infrared remote control. So let me start with the screens first. And the first one is this biggest screen, which looks suspiciously like the NS Panel Pro, the new vertical NS Panel Pro, which I have here, but of course it runs a different software. Probably the base is the same Android system, but the application which is running on it is different. Is that it has different look and feel, it has different features, but the main theme are pretty much the same. So you have a front screen where you can control, where you can see like a background image and weather and time. You can swipe to one side and you can control tap to home automations, tap to run automations, and you can scroll to the other side and you can control devices. So of course you can configure which devices you want to control, and then you click on a device, you have all the different controls. So this is an RGB downlight, so you can control brightness, colors, scenes, white light if you want to do that. Yeah, brightness you can control as well. So you have all the usual stuff here. Oops, I turned it off. And of course, you have the same for some of the other devices as well. I mean, yeah. So this one is like a 2-channel or 2-gang device. So you have an overview here of the devices, and you click on them, you have like a detailed screen. So it's stuff that we expect. But you have also 2 buttons here, and when you press those, they actually operate a relay in this device, because this is not just a touch screen, but it has 2 outputs as well. As you can see, L1 and the L2, and this is the live and neutral that you feed in to power the device. You can see there is an option for Ethernet connection, and there is some other connection option which I haven't had time to explore, but it looks like RS485, so that could be interesting. So you can really use this as a room controller or replace your existing light switch with this, because it has those outputs, so you can just control them directly. And of course you can reconfigure these buttons to do other things as well if you don't want to use the outputs. This screen also has some additional functionality. So if I show you in this application, then you can see that this control panel, you can set it up with Alexa, so this becomes like an Alexa speaker. You can also configure intercom functionality, so you should be able to link, for example, the 2 screens together, but for some reason it didn't work for me, so I need to play around with that a little bit more. But you can call this from the phone directly. You can configure which scenes and also which devices you want to see. You can also upload your custom images for the background. So that's all nice, and it also has a built-in Zigbee, just like the NS Panel Pro, which I haven't used. Actually, Zigbee and Bluetooth device, but I haven't used that yet. I have so many Zigbee gateways at home already. So it's a nice functionality. And if you want something smaller, there is this model that has the same UI. So I think I need to set the brightness on this one a little bit high up so we can see display. Yeah, let's put it 100% so we can see it's better on the camera. But you have the same functionality, so you can have tap to run automations, all your devices, and if I go back to the main screen, you have the clock and the weather, and you have 3 buttons on the side. And they are actually connected to 3 different outputs here. So you can see L1, L2, and L3. And by the way, the only the reason this still works, and even though there is nothing connected, because there is a USB-C port here, it's actually on the other device as well. They said it's only for debugging, but I could use it to power the device because I was just running out of leads here. So it's nice. It's more like a European layout. You still have 3 buttons available, and you can configure these buttons to do something else. So if I show you in the app, now you can see that that's the other panel, and I can control the button settings. So I can say that, you know, this button just controls one of the outputs, but you can also set it to start a scene, a shortcut, or go to a camera feed, or do a system settings like turn off the screen or increase the brightness. So it's a lot of configuration option. There is also a built-in infrared remote in this one. So again, you can train it to different you know, remotes, and you can use this to send signals off to, for example, your TV to operate your TV. So I think it's a good integration. It actually makes sense. You put it on a wall, you put it in a room, so you might as well use it as an infrared remote, so you don't have to run separate wires out to, for example, something like this. So, and it also has a Zigbee Gateway, which, to be honest, that's something else which I haven't really you know, looked into yet, but it looks like another wireless gateway similar to Zigbee or Z-Wave. And this has the multimedia intercom functionality as well, just like the other screen. So it's also really nice and you know, versatile device. And lastly, next let's move over to the M6 Zigbee Gateway. And it looks suspiciously like the M1 gateway, which I reviewed probably like 6 months ago. So this also has an external antenna. It requires a wired connection, so it plugs into your network, and then it just provides a gateway. And you can see the Matter logo on this one. So that can also act as a Matter bridge. So which is again similar to the M1 because that had all the that same functionality as well. And this supports up to 125 devices, but that's more or less, you know, what you can say about the gateway. It works nice, and actually this Zigbee device, which is a Zigbee infrared remote control, is configured for this. And the reason this M6 came out, because this provides support for this infrared remote, and also some smart locks which are coming up in the lineup. And this brings me to this infrared remote, which is an interesting device. I thought this is something new, but when I looked online, well, obviously there has been some Zigbee infrared remotes in the past. This one looks a little bit different, a little bit interesting with this USB port. To be honest, I think like a micro USB or a USB-C would have been better with this, because now you most probably just need to plug this into a, you know, a wall adapter, like a USB charger, or you need a special USB-A to USB-A cable. But anyway, that shouldn't really be a problem. So I don't have that cable at the moment, so actually I'm just going to plug this into the laptop, which is right next to me. And I don't really have to show you, because besides the light, there is nothing really into this. And if I show you, you know, that's my M6 hub. That's, you know, looks just like any other Zigbee hub. And when I look at the Zigbee infrared remote, I can see that I have, you know, one TV configured to it. And then creating any new infrared devices is very easy, because first of all, you have to select from the list of, well, a pre-selected list of devices. So it's either like a TV, a set-top box, or a fan, or a light, or something else. And then when you do that, that is going to predefine some set of buttons that you can train. Like on this TV, you get this layout for, you know, voice channel, power, and then on the more you have some additional buttons as well. So it gives me access to most of the buttons that I have on the remote for this particular TV. But the one thing that I really like about this one is it uses it supports this quick match method or technology, where say that, okay, I have a TV, and let's say I have a Sony TV, and then you select Sony, and then now it says, you know, push this button and see if it turns your TV on. So you push the button. If it turns on your TV, you say, okay, that's the remote control I have. If it doesn't, then you just say, you know, click another one, and it's going to give you another remote. So it has all the Sony remotes and all the other brands programmed into it, so you can just quickly cycle through them. Let's say maybe there is like a dozen or half a dozen for a particular brand. So it's definitely easier than training all the different codes. But if, let's say, nothing works, you can go back to the earlier training mode. So again, setting up the TV, I think the second option worked for my TV. And then, you know, once you say that, okay, this works, then it's going to tell you, it's going to ask you to try a few more additional buttons just to make sure that they work. And then that's it. You have a new TV remote. And of course, because you have tested those few buttons, all the other buttons are going to work. So it's very easy to use. It was very easy to set up. As I said, apart from this sort of USB connector, I think it's going to be a great device. And because it's Zigbee, maybe I will be able to use it with Zigbee MQTT as well. But I'm not so sure about that just yet. I still have to try that out. So I think that would be that really quick summarized review. And if you're interested in any of these products, then go down to the video description and you will find the links to these products there. And also, if I get any special links or coupon codes, I will include them in the video description as well. So I think that should be all for now. There most probably going to be like a more detailed review video coming up in a couple of weeks. So if you are interested in more in, you know, in all the details and what each of these devices can do, just make sure that you look out for these videos. But as I said, I think that's going to be all for today. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you in the next one.